Your spiritual rechargers are those things that help you to remain on your path of purpose. They help you remain aligned with the light, with what you're here to do. They help you to continue to feel light, to feel the connection with the light. Energizes you spiritually. It gives you more zeal. You have more motivation to go after the things of the light. You feel the closeness of the light around you. You feel the closeness of God. They are the things that help you to remain connected to God. Spiritual drainers, on the other hand, are things that pull you away from God. The things that take you away from your path of purpose, that distract you, that make you lose focus, that cloud your mind. Those are spiritual drainers. It's different for everybody. That's why it's very important that you know what are the activities that recharge you, what are the activities that drain you, so that you know which ones to get yourself more aligned to and which ones to run away from. Take your time and observe yourself. Every activity that you involve yourself in, how does it make you feel? Because whatever it says you're doing, there is a feeling it is going to live within you that will help you know if this thing is helping you spiritually or not. Some are very obvious, very blatant. You will know that this thing is not helping me spiritually. But there are some that it looks normal in the eye, so you don't see any problem engaging in them. Meanwhile, they might be draining you. It took me a while before I really started to get a hang of what my drainers are and what my rechargers are. And one way you would know the things that drain you are those things that once you finish doing them, once you're involved in them, or once you're done getting involved in them, the word drain is the key word, that you feel drained. It's almost like you lack the energy to do any other thing. Possibly if you're scheduled to pray at a particular point in time, once you get yourself involved in spiritual drainers, you automatically just lack the zeal. You will not have motivation again to pray. You will not have motivation again to do those activities that actually recharge you. I will give you an instance. Watching television, watching a movie, especially for a long time, is a drain on me spiritually. At the beginning, I fought it a lot. Like, will I not watch TV again? No matter how innocent the movie is, even if it's a Disney animation, I'll end up feeling a little drained after watching it. It's been happening like clockwork until I had to come to terms with this thing and just tell myself the truth. As a awakened spirit, you need to take your time and identify your rechargers and your drainers. Write them out. I have mine written out on a book so that I can constantly remind myself. When I make these videos, when I play worship songs like this, it recharges me a lot. I just find myself vibing in high spirits. I can be singing from morning till night without even eating. That for me is a recharger. When I spend too much time gisting, talking, at the end of that session, I start to feel the draining coming up. I start to feel myself like I'm losing strength. These are pointers showing me the things I shouldn't be doing anymore. If I don't get myself out of that conversation, out of that activity, by the time I'll be done with it, I'll be completely sapped. And these are the ways the darkness gets you to lose energy for the things of the light. And once you are sapped that way, you can't even have the energy to go and do the things that recharge you again. It's a vicious cycle. It's very important that you identify what those things are so that you can, as much as possible, cut them out of your life. Another thing that drains me is whenever I get too involved in my work. So most times when I'm working, I have to keep reminding myself, Amanda, this is not why you're here on earth. Yes, you need to work to make a living, but you don't have to wrap yourself all up in it. Despite the fact that I have to work to earn a living, I still cannot get too engulfed in it. And I have a tendency of becoming workaholic, like getting so much work, getting myself, buried in so much work that I now find out that probably throughout the weekend, I could just be working. The time I would have used to do the things that recharge me, I'm using it to work. And at the end of the day, I still feel so drained. I still can't go and do the things that recharge me. It's a vicious cycle. So it's something that you have to keep reminding yourself. Personally, I've decided that I'm going to write out what my rechargers are and paste them on my wall in my room so that I can always remind myself. Because in the milieu of activities of the day, in the milieu of the daily hustle and bustle, it's easy to forget. It's easy to, because when these things come, you don't even know. It's only when you're already in it most times. And you start to feel that drainedness. You start to feel that drainage going on. That's when you realize that, hey, I'm out of alignment. I'm doing something that is not in alignment with my spiritual purpose. What is going on? Why am I feeling this way? But if we can be conscious enough ahead of time to have it at the top of our heads that these are the things we are not going to allow ourselves to do. These are the things that we're going to do more of. Then you one will be okay. Okay, so coming to my recharges, I have a lot of messages I watch on YouTube. YouTube happens to be almost the only social media that I don't feel that drained thing. I don't feel drained going to. That's the reason why I'm making these videos on this platform. I have a lot of pages, I have a lot of channels I follow that I listen to spiritual messages. I follow Joyce Meyer, Joshua Selman, so many people who use their YouTube channels to broadcast spiritual messages. Once I turn on my YouTube and I start playing all these spiritual messages, it helps me a lot because there is a lot you learn. Okay? So most times when I'm done with work or even while I'm working, I like to put my earpod in my ear and just keep replaying in different spiritual messages. It recharges me a lot. Another thing I do, I have a set of children that I teach. It just happened. I was just offered the opportunity to teach these children. I decided to take it. And I take them once in a while. I just teach them good manners and how to behave well, how to be good children. And each time I have my teaching session with these children, it's like I feel so light. I don't know how to explain it. Like, so I started to look forward to the days when I would teach them. I was never really a children person, but when this opportunity came, I decided to just, why not? But I never really envisaged how much I was going to love it. My heart started to really open up to these children, and I saw their hearts opening up to me. I couldn't believe it. It's one of the activities that helps me recharge spiritually. Once I'm done teaching these children, it's almost as if I'm floating in the cloud. Like, I feel so light. I feel so connected. I would never have thought. So another thing that helps me is, once I just focus on all the good things that have happened to me, I just try to have a gratitude mindset. Just counting my blessings, so to say. Just start to remind myself of all the good things that have happened to me, over time. Just counting them one by one, bringing them one by one. When I start doing that, it'll be as if my spirit is coasting. It helps me to also get rid of some things that may be worrying me, that I may be thinking about, that may be saddening me. Once I cast my mind on all the things that I'm happy that happened, because in the midst of the whole activities of the day, it's very easy for us to lose track of the blessings that happen to us every day while we are hustling and bustling. But if you can take your time really to start looking at them one by one, just bringing them out one by one, it's one of the biggest spiritual recharges I've seen. It just takes your mind away from all these earthly mundane things and takes your mind up. It takes your spirit up. Activities that when I involve in them, I get drained. Another thing is when I have an argument with someone, especially a heated argument, after that argument, I will feel like somebody that they put pipe and sucked out all the energy inside their body. So right now, I try to avoid arguments as much as possible. Because at the end of the day, when I finish arguing with you, you will go your way, feeling cool. I'm the one that will not be suffering. I'm the one that will be feeling sapped, feeling drained, all my spiritual energy gone. And I have to start struggling, start going to do things that will help me recharge all over again. So it made me realize that we're just like, I would say, batteries, so to say. So it's either you plug yourself to the things that will give you more energy, that will draw more light into you, or you allow yourself to be drained. To get to a point, you'll be reading low battery. But the more you allow yourself to get recharged, your battery will be constantly full. You can walk for the light very well. It will be difficult for the darkness to tempt you easily and you will fall. Why? Because you are vibing high. Your spirit is filled. So you need to identify what your rechargers are and what your drainers are. Find out which one are you engaging mostly in. Because you'll be surprised at the moment you're able to start noting these things down. You realize that part of the reasons why you keep you feel like you're running around in circles, why you don't constantly feel that connection to the light, is because you keep doing activities that don't help you. You keep engaging in activities that drain you. You do more of those activities that drain you than the ones that recharge you. Find out what they are. Set timelines that will help you. If it's the time to pray, time to play worship music, whatever it is that helps to recharge you, do more of that every day. Find out what drains you spiritually and what recharges you spiritually. Do more of what recharges you spiritually and cut off those activities that drain you. Cut them off. If possible, write it down. Put it where you can see it so that every single day you are reminded. Remember, in this, I was striving towards the light. The darkness is not going to leave you alone. In fact, the more you are determined to serve the light, the more you are determined to live your life in a way that pleases God, the more the darkness will go and bring army to come and distract you. Because, of course, it doesn't want you to achieve that purpose, but the help that comes from the light, as long as we are determined and we'll keep doing those things that help us stay on the path, we are going to achieve our purpose.